Kia ora and good afternoon. Welcome to Halberg Park, the home of the Marist Saints, for this round 12 clash of the Fox Memorial Championship here, the pinnacle of Auckland Rugby League. My name's Dale Husband. It's great to share some time with you this afternoon, live streaming. We're hoping to bring you some of the action from the game, of course, some of the personalities, and indeed celebrate the local game of rugby league here in Auckland. Great to have you all company. Thank you for checking out the website, and of course a comprehensive website keeping you in touch with all the draws and the news from Auckland Rugby League. Well, today I get an opportunity to call the action with my son Lewin, who of course has experience, but mostly calling it Rotu Te Reo Māori with Māori television, hey? But it's a different game today, and Lewin very much looking forward to this clash. It's 6 playing 8, two very proud clubs, the Richmond Bulldogs, of course, a Central City squad, up against the Marist Saints, and these two teams have a long history, and looking forward very much to their battle. What intrigues you about the mix-up today?
Thank you, Dale. Am I allowed to call you Dale this afternoon?
No, I guess so, son. I guess so.
Hey, as we said earlier, it's awesome to be able to profile some of the teams on this digital platform. Thank you to Auckland Rugby League and of course our boys behind the scenes that are making it happen. We're used to these juggernaut teams up top of the table, the likes of Papakura, Mount Albert, Halberg and Glenora, dominating most of the competition, but it's strong throughout the whole ladder. We've got 6 playing 8 today. Richmond Bulldogs are going pretty good with Steve Buckingham at the helm, and also Marist Saints are hanging in there as well. So we're blessed for some great opportunity to see some good talent out there on the field.
Well, as you can see, there's a good sort of a crowd, an overcast day today at Marist ground, celebrating, of course, the wonderful track efforts yesteryear of Murray Halberg. And what a week of sport it has been here in New Zealand as we look across at the America's Cup. The Warriors are in Perth today. We've got also the Lions in town as well down in Wellington. So a sporting week, and added to by this dimension, club footy. It's always been traditionally strong in Auckland, and we're very pleased to be able to bring you some action from today's game. And one of the intriguing battles, among many, is the match-up in coaching styles between Brendan Douglas, who is in control of the Marist Saints, and of course Steve Buckingham, who Lewin mentioned has moved across from Mount Albert. I think both really just want to see the game in a healthy state, and we'll be joined too very shortly by Tash Yedamia, who likewise coaches and manages the under-15s here for the Marist Saints. Her Tane is perhaps the oldest guy on the field this afternoon, Simon. He'll be in the 7 jersey for the Marist Saints. So there's plenty to look forward to as we see these two coaches opting for young talent, and I'm talking the light of Lewis Seal, who's in the number 7 jersey for Marist. He'll be teaming up today with Alamote Finau. And both these guys have played for the Warriors 20s. We'll put them in beside the experience of a guy like Yedamia, and we get the old adage about youth and experience and the important aspect that provides in the mix. Of course, these two clubs will have a look now at their lineups, and we'll start with the Marist Saints. Let's go here first. So the number 8 for them today is Tino Lua Falealo, and Sunia Aukwala is the Marist hooker today. 4, Tolia Folo Pepe, takes out the front row with Briggs and Wheely. That's Anthony Wheely, who is in the 2nd row, and Tavita Vea is at the back. Let's go across to the back line, Lewin.
Kia ora papa. Simon Iedemir at halfback, teaming up at standoff with Lewis Seal. We've got Alamoti Finau and Ngataua Hukutai, who's played some junior Warriors representative footy. He's also come out of King's College as well. So Sangile Palamo on the left wing and Simon Lua Falealo at the back.
Their bench today, Kisiona Funa, Taniala Tangitau, Nema Eliu, and Denzel Lepore. Of course, the coach is Brendan Douglas today. And be fair to say, a few new names as well for us to enjoy today. But really, all the background counts for nothing. We're looking at what's going on at the track. Time to have a look at the Richmond Rovers and their lineup for today. Let's start again with the front row efforts. Faitala Tuisila will be in jersey number 20 today, and beside him, and in fact in the middle of the two bookends, is Leonard Patello. The prop forward Darius Mafoy will make up the front row, and then Shaquille Solomona and Kennedy Arkoyatmore will make up the 2nd row for the Bulldogs. Kennedy was very strong last year in our coverage as well, so I'm looking forward to him going around. At the back of the scrum today, Mateo Temaloa, and once again I'll pass it across to you, Lou, to introduce to our viewers this afternoon the back line for the Richmond squad.
Yes, you plugged Kennedy Arkoyatmore. He's got a younger brother who's directing the ship as well in the halfback role, Isaac Arkoyatmore. Standoff number 6, Jakim Tumu Makara. We have Onelangi Pungi in number 3, Mickey Williams in number 4, Robert Malay Se'a on our left wing, Samisoni Violetti at fullback, and Reece Richmond in the right wing.
And how do you get a name Richmond when you're playing for Richmond? That's a nice little touch as well. On the bench today, Elliot Smith. We've got Jaden Taimelatane, August Yosua, and Matrix Kohiva. These are the lineups for you this afternoon here as we bring you action from round 12 of the Auckland Rugby League Fox Memorial. Good to have you along here. We are streaming live from Murray Halberg Park. And we're going to invite now a special guest to pop on down and say a few words as well, if I can see her. No, I can't. She's gone. Well, as you can see in the background, the teams are both warming up here today. Ngā Taua Hukatai, is interesting to see him still running around in rugby league. As mentioned, he came with a bit of a hiss and a roar, didn't he, when he came up from King's College. And King's College took a dim view, really, on having their rugby men stolen, but he's staying with the code, and we certainly wish him well. And speaking of young warriors, of course, we've got Ngani Lomape, who's making his debut with the All Blacks tonight as well. So the Marist Saints have actually been a fantastic breeding ground over the years for talent. And Lewin was doing a little bit of a squiz through Uncle Google earlier on to remind us of some of the wonderful names that have come through the Marist Club over the years.
That's right. In most recent years, the likes of Tui Lolohea, David Fusitua, Sonny Bill Williams, Roy Asotasi, Jean Ngamu, Mutu Tony. These are some of the names that have come out of this proud club who turn 100 years old in 2019. So we've got to show love to their efforts as well.
Also from the Richmond squad, I just want to pay tribute to them who hosted the 1977 Auckland team last week. Both Lewin and I were heading in there, but to be honest, it was such a popular event at Greyland Park that the motorways were clogged. I guess it might have had something to do with a big game on at Eden Park, surely, but we couldn't get there. And so in the end, you two went and watched some club footy a bit closer to home. But I would like to mihi to Fred Arkoi and to his teammates, those who had a long involvement with the Richmond Rovers, and that wonderful squad back in 1977, which, as we know, had that remarkable month where they knocked over Aussie, Great Britain and France, and became world beaters, and some wonderful names that are still celebrated today involved in that little period 40 years ago. So it's Richmond up against the Marist Saints. You're watching this live stream from Murray Halberg Park. The teams, as you can see, are warming up. They are playing for the Eddie Po Ching Trophy today. Eddie was the convener, really, of the Samoan Rugby League, and as such had a lot to do with both teams. We're about to get into position for commentary. Very pleased to have your company this afternoon, and we'll be underway with the game in just a few moments.
Yeah, hello. Peter Akoi is my name. Long-time Richmond player, coach, administrator, all those sort of things. It's a special day for Richmond. It's a Memorial Day. And, in this case, it's Memorial Day in recognition of the work my brother Afi Akoi done down here at this club. It's also a day where we remember all our whānau that have passed on and the many whānau that have been down here at Richmond.
Afi had a lot to do with the club. All my brothers played down here at Richmond. When my parents came from Samoa, we lived on Elgin Street, which is just up the road here. And so she basically sent them all down to the local club, and that's where we started playing.
It's a family club, and it's a club that's had some very famous names come through this this part of Grey Lynn. It's quite a lot of Polynesian feel about down here at Richmond, and that team is still continuing to this day.
Here's the man and his godson. Afi's godson. This is him today. Don't take anything off me. Just take it off him.
There's a great love for rugby league down here, and the passion's it's there in bundles down here, and you can just sort of cast around today. You'll see that there's so many kids that enjoy the game, and we're coming right from the inner city of Auckland, and amongst all the other sports that's happening here. Richmond's never not fielded a team that will, and our club hopefully will keep going.
Afi was special because when he finished his rugby league playing career, if you like, he basically fell into administration down here, and he thoroughly loved what he did because he loved the club. He loved the game. He loves people. He loved people.
Basically, today's a celebration of all the kids, and what happens is that when the visiting teams play here at Grey Lynn, they basically get hosted as well, and we pick their special best and fairest and play of the days, and we give out awards to both teams, and then we pick out the teams who sort of live in the spirit of him being of how he was, working hard, enjoying his football down here.
He never had a bad word to say about anybody or anything. So his aroha was always for the club, and he showed it. And we'll always remember him.
Marist Saints and the Richmond Bulldogs. It's going to be one heck of a battle too, and as mentioned in the build-up to the game, some experienced players coupled with some really exciting young talent. That's what we're looking forward to seeing. It's got some big units as well. Tino Luafalealo getting involved in the defensive work early on. A Kaula also, that's some of the headgear as we look across to the right-hand side, and the Richmond Bulldogs, this proud club from Grey Lynn Park, and of course from a time when there was a big Polynesian population in and around central Auckland. It certainly has changed the demographics of Auckland City in the last 20 or 30 years. But it's still a very proud club as it goes on to the boot of Joaquim Tumu Makara, and it'll be taken right at the back too by the experienced Simon Luafalealo. So he angles across and to make the tackle is Patello. He puts him away 10 metres out from the Marist line.
It's a nice sign from the Richmond Bulldogs to get underway. Steve Buckingham will be proud of the first set. They got to the kick, they completed it, and they're doing up to try and force an error down at the home ground of Marist Saints. Proud club, as you mentioned earlier on, Dad, turning 100 years old in 2019. Some of the names that have come out of this club you'd be really proud of, the likes of Dave Fusitua, Tui Lolohea, SPW, G Ngamu, Mututoni, the list goes on.
Billy Burgoyne. Tony Krilich's going to play a down. No, he's to his feet now. So the back row. Tavita Vea is just back out of an injury. He's had a hammy problem, but he looks as though he's running freely at the moment. And at the 40-metre line, that prompts a kick downfield where it's taken at the back here by Reece Richmond. How about having a name Richmond and playing for Richmond? He's got hold of the football now and charges forward across the top. Come the Marist Saints and put him away 35 out from his line. 10 metres in from what would be the eastern touchline here. This park running north-south, and on the 40-metre line it's the Bulldogs who will play it through their fullback Violetti. Dummy half work here for Akoi Atmore, two of them in the game today. This is Onalangi Pungi in the headgear. He's put away on the halfway line, and it's Richmond in possession. Just spraying to the right, it's Meliasia. Quick play the ball options left and right. Little darting run too from the hooker Patello. He's the ground on the 30-metre line. Good position here for Richmond, but slow to get to his feet this time around. Onto the boot. Akoi Atmore again. He sends it deep. Bounce important. A little bit awkward, but it bounces kindly enough for Palamo, and he's back to restart it on the 20.
Yeah, very similar rules here as the NRL. When the ball goes dead, it's a 7-tackle set. So they'll be pleased, the Marist Saints, the home team, to be able to get out of their half and put some pressure on the Richmond line. Proud club, these two clubs here. Obviously, Richmond Rovers last week shared some celebrations with the 1977 Auckland team. Unfortunately, they didn't come away with the result, going down to Northcote 20 points to 10. And the Glenora Bears got the better side of the Marist Saints last week as well in the round 11 Fox Memorial.
Yeah, it was a big scoreline as it turned out, but they were certainly in the hunt for 20 minutes. This is a good run from the home team. They find themselves 20 metres out from the try line, 10 in from the far touch. Through the hands, it's Yeremia. He peels across to the right, on with Seal, and then the kick. Beautifully taken in the end goal as well. Pretty skinny end goals, I'd have to say, here at Murray Halberg Park, but it was well accounted for by Richmond, and it'll be the Dogs with the restart centre field, and the man who took the catch also takes the first run where he's wrapped up in the tackle of Tavita Vea.
Yeah, it's nice to see that Simon Yeremia still has the touch. I mean, as we mentioned earlier, this could be his 20th year and playing for the Fox, so having that balance right with the older heads and the young, excited players, it's important to get that blend working, and that's the sign of it earlier on.
42 metres out, slow to get to his feet is Tuisila, but now Richmond, the drop-off ball on the inside is Shaquille Solomona, powerful run from him, 32 metres out from the try line. And the dummy half worker is Patello. He's a busy player. Back to the back rower, Timaloa. Wrapped up, good tackle too by Anthony Wheely. A good opportunity here for the Bulldogs. Here's a little kick along the ground from Tumu Makara. It's into the in goal, in fact, beats everyone. And the referee, Leon Price, we'll bring it back to the 20 metre. A little bit of drizzle down there, so it will inconvenience the players more than anything. The track's in pretty good nick, considering there's been quite a lot of rain in Auckland over the last few days. And to the 30 metre line come the Saints, peeling away down the short side now. That's a good run, picks up 12 metres on the run as well. And is that a penalty? No, the referee's just asking for it to come back. Natawa Hukatai down the left side. Solid too, Hukatai.
It's nice to see Ngātaua Hukatai commit his sort of skills to Aotearoa, to New Zealand. So many of our players that play Toyota Cup or represent some NRL footy clubs, they tend to go and play overseas, either in the Q Cup or in the New South Wales Cup. The fact that he's stayed and strengthened our game here in Auckland, it's a great plug for him.
It's a big 22, is it? We'll just make sure that all of our listings are accurate. We're doing our best there. Simon Yeremia certainly gets the Saints into good field position. 30 metres from the try line, it'll be Hukatai who will get the restart. The ball's bounced over the fence, and we know that there's a Doberman dog over there, so no one wants to get it back. Quick tap taken by the Saints. Here's Yeremia. The big units in the middle too, and they collide under the tackle of Solomona. Such a proud name associated with the Richmond Bulldogs. Norfalialo now gets him set nicely. Good solid D being laid on as well by Patello. And also Akoi Atmore. The little offload. Nice work here from the Saints. And a desperate tackle stops the run. Alamotifino is wrapped up. It's still close to the line, trying to steal his way across as Palamo. He'll play just a metre out from the try line. Good half-volley pickup. I was about to congratulate Seal, but it ended up being a little too tough for him. Then he had a poor pass, the undoing of the Saints, who got themselves into good field position. Scrum feed for the Richmond Bulldogs, about 12 metres out from their own line.
Hey, even though that wasn't the greatest result, the greatest outcome for that set, wasn't it some beautiful hands? Brendan Douglas will be proud of the shape that they showed on this right edge. Almost a try-saving tackle from Onelangi Pongi on his opposite, Alamuti Fino, that almost went over.
Pungi's a 26-year-old, actually out of Takapuna Rugby, and he's a data consultant, I'm told, so he added up the figures and certainly put the run away. Fino was very threatening, and now it's Richmond in possession and 20 metres out from their own line. Kennedy Akoi Atmore is with the football, the 22-year-old. He's studying for a Bachelor of Engineering, Akoi Atmore. As we see Patello with another fine run. Number 20 is Tuisila. Been playing league since the year 2000, so a number of these guys in both clubs have been full-time clubmen, started their footy as 6-year-olds. You're watching live stream of the Fox Memorial Championship It's round 12, brought to you by Auckland Rugby League. Is the back rower for the Bulldogs, puts it forward, Timoloa. That's Mateo Timoloa. He's centre field and 40, with the Dogs looking in some pretty good shape. Akoi Atmore now launches the ball, and at the back, Samasuni Violetti is equal to the challenge. But he is, that's Lua Falealo, my apologies. And he is forced into the end goal, so it will be the Saints who restart under the crossbar.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams are testing each other out. Today they've been at both ends of the park. It's nice to see that they're completing their sets and playing down the right end of the field. How nice is it to be able to stream the footy, Dad? I mean, this is the new age of digital technologies. Television's going to become predominantly on the internet, and the fact that we're up to date with it, you've just learned how to use the remote to the television. You've just got an iPhone, so welcome to the world of technology there. Then you can ask your grandson to teach you a few things how to use your phone.
Well, you're speaking at intergenerational corridor now, son, and I think there are a lot of older guys who'll be thinking just the same. They'll be jotting down all of that information with their pen and pencil. Right in front of the post, 15 metres out. Could we be seeing the first try in a moment? Here comes Tuisila. He's wrapped up about 5 or 6 metres out from the try line. Great opportunity now for Leonard Patello. Patello has a look to the left, squirts it across to the right-hand side. Here come Richmond. Peeling on it is Tumu Makara, and he can't get across. He's wrapped up right in front of the post, 5 metres out. Here's a good darting run as well from the hooker. He can't get there as well as the Saints shut the door on him. Just a couple of metres out from the try line. Desperate defence from the home team. Through Akoi Atmore, poor pass. Out the back it comes to Violetti. He's got the ball. Round the door he comes. And there's a kick into the end goal. Play on, says referee Price. Well, some innovative play there, Lewin. And in the end, the Marist Saints dodge a bullet, and they'll play the ball now about 7 metres from their own line.
Yeah, I like the style of Hayden Price, our referee this afternoon. He's not a big whistleblower. He lets a few things go, so that's more of an opportunity for the players to actually play some footy instead of the ref dominating the game.
So it's the Saints who have the football now on the 20-metre line, and they'll push out a couple more metres. It's got some jersey changes. We're just going to check on them. Some of these guys are big units and can't fit small jerseys. That carrier is Denzel Lepua in jersey number 17. Still no score. Taken deep. Nicely too from Violetti. To the ground. 12 minutes into the game. Darting run from Pongi. He's done some nice, or had some nice touches so far in the match.
Yeah, I've been surprised and surprisingly pleased with both of these teams. They've shown some good processes and game plans. I mean, you couldn't be too happier if you're the coach Steve Buckingham or, in fact, Brendan Douglas. You would have heard those two names before. Obviously, Steve Buckingham being a Mount Albert Lions Fox Memorial captain, championship-winning player, and Brendan Douglas, the previous Glenora Bears coach as well, who's come over to make a sort of new home here and help out the Marist Saints.
Well, Brendan's been around for a long time. Both of them love their footy, and it's a very satisfying mahi, isn't it, when you're helping to bring young guys through and develop confidence. They can be the stalwarts of club footy for many years ahead if they have that confidence in their late teens, early 20s. So it's a bit of a ding-dong battle we've got here at Murray Halberg at the moment. No quarter given by these two proud clubs. And for the Po Ching Trophy, as I touched on in the introduction today, it's acknowledging Eddie Po Ching, who died 3 years ago, and he played for Marist, but he helped to start Samoan Rugby League, and it was involved as such with both clubs. Strong Samoan connections through both Marist and through Richmond. It's wonderful that each time these two proud clubs play, they play for a trophy in Eddie Po Ching's honour. Eddie happens to be Tash, who we'll speak to a bit later on, his dad as well. So the ball's taken deep here by Violetti, and a good take, and slow to retreat though, I'd have to say, some of the Richmond forwards, but it's been played at a pretty busy pace early on as well. In from the wing is Melesea, and he'll play the football about 5 metres inside enemy territory. Into dummy half comes Pongi. peel away a few metres and gets away with an easy 8 or 10 metres. Just a purposeful run through the middle. Momentum has shifted gear a couple of times. The inside drop off for Solomon. A nice ball to Violetti, who makes some inroads. He's 20 metres from the try line. Needs a quick play the ball, but all over him is Okuala. Into Akoi Atmore. Solid D from Marist. Jarring the ball less. Play on, says referee Price. To the hands. It's Solomona. He goes across to the right-hand side. Nice little run through, and into the gap goes the number 12, Akoi Atmore, and he's 8 metres out from the try line. Plenty of pressure on now for the Marist Saints. Here comes Botello, is it for the line? He's close. He's popped the pass back, but he let it go late, and the Marist Saints survive with good, strong defence on the line.
Calm your farm, Dad. It's only the internet streaming the game. We're not on TV now, mind you. I appreciate your enthusiasm that you're showing to the footy.
This is rugby league, son. Guys are going at it and they're banging each other, so they deserve our support, whether it's a bit of volume in the voice. So be it. Marist, they defended their line and they kept it. They dodged the bullet there because Richmond were very close to scoring. I've been liking what I've seen from this bloke, and he's easy to see because of the big hair he's carrying today, Sammy Briggs. So he'll play it now just short of the 30-metre line. The Saints just building quietly here as Darius Malfoy comes in to make the tackle 15 metres from halfway. Midway, 30 and 40. Saints end of the ground. Bit of willingness as Tavita Veer says, well, I'll have a go too. Veer, as mentioned.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I've enjoyed the sort of...
He's just back from a hammy injury too, Lewin, so this could be a bit of an issue for the back rower.
Yeah, he already had some strapping on one of those legs as well. It's not a good sight when a player's clutching at the knee because they're always serious sort of injuries. The ACLs and crucial ligaments. Is it?
Crucial.
Cruciate?
Cruciate.
Excuse me.
But I tell you what, your ligaments are crucial. But the cruciate ligament, come on, you can't, look.
The knee bone's connected to the leg bone.
This is not
Otahu
Otahu now.
Bro.
Dr. Lopata. That's enough of that. There's a bit of an issue here for Tavita. Well, it gives us a bit of a chance to just evaluate some of the efforts so far. We remind you too, as we look at round 12, and it's the Point Chevalier Pirates, just to go off the game while Tavita gets some running attention. The Pirates are on the top of the table at the moment with 20 points. They've just had the one loss this season. They're playing strongly again. And Zane Pocklington is in control there. The Howard Hornets second on the table with 9 wins. It's been a wonderful year for them. But back we come to our live action and live streamed. This is Kisione Whakafuna, who's warming up in jersey number 14. So the number 3 team on the ladder at the moment is Glenora, and then Mount Albert and Papakura rounding out the top 5. And it runs like this: the Bulldogs, Northcote, Marist, Mangere East and Tatatu making up the foot of the table. I don't think we'll see Tavita again. He's very inconvenienced, and hopefully it's not, well, it looks as though it is the same injury that's kept him out for a number of weeks leading into today's game. Dale Husband and Lewin Husbands with you today, calling the action. And of course our colleagues Troy Hardy, Corey Rosser, also calling action from the north side today. The first time in history, 2 games live streamed simultaneously on the Auckland Rugby League website. Our action for you from the Murray Halberg Park, the home of the Marist Saints, here in Mount Albert. And it's Marist in possession. Still no score. And the game's been going for just on 18 minutes. Early knock on as well. And these are the sorts of mistakes that, well, they call them coach killers, but, you know, holding on to that football is so vital in the modern game, Lewin.
Well, they've been so disciplined, as you say, 18 minutes into the game, and there hasn't been too many errors. But to get a chance at the right end of the field with six tackles, a full set, might be a chance for the Richmond Bulldogs to break the ice and cross over for the first points of this afternoon.
So the Bulldogs will feed the ball and take it from the scrum. Well, after just a settled attitude here, get to the back end, get a kick deep. That will be the goal here. Steve Buckingham, this is the simple game. This is Tuisila. But impressed with the early work that the big prop forward has put together as well down the left side. Akoi, Atmore and now Pongi. He's been impressive too, Olangi. Isaac Akoi Atmore. Down the right edge now. And centering up. So again, the Saints asked to concentrate on their defensive work. Nice little ball out to Akoi Atmore as well. Briggs has been a thorn in the side for the Richmond attack. He's been moving up quickly, working through the left corridor. Samuel Briggs as they kick into the in goal, and it's allowed to go dead. Restart for the Saints on the 20-metre line.
Yeah, still in the middle, 20 minutes gone. It'll be interesting to see which team sort of cracks, who gives away a penalty, who forces an error. Quite evenly balanced, these two teams, standing on 6th and 8th position on the ladder. So still certainly in the midst of an opportunity to crack the top 4.
Good carry here to the 40-metre line. The Saints now suddenly growing confidence. Lewis Seal with a drop off, and it's Briggs. He's been impressive. He gets the ball away too. A darting little run through the centre, making some good meterage. 40 from the try line now for the Saints. Bulldogs end. Seal wide to Fino. The big fend for Malamuti. Sees a bit of a gap. Runs at the referee, kicks the ball into the in goal. Nicely weighted as it turns out. Richmond come across there. Decent chase, and the Dogs, will they get back into the field of play? No, the Saints, some solid play, and they'll get the ball back for the kick from underneath the crossbar.
Great effort there from the Marist Saints, just coming off their own dropout, their own in goal, to putting a repeat set in down here. So, as I said earlier, very sort of evenly balanced teams. Been pleased with the 6 and 7 of the Richmond Bulldogs. They're doing really well. Isaac Akoi Atmore and Jakim Tumu Makara.
This one. This is the wind-up too for the Saints. Well, the Saints come marching home. It's an old cliche, we know, but look at this one too. This is Luafali Arlo, gets them nicely set. 22 metres out from the try line, peeling away his old caller. Good run too from the rake. He's only 8 metres from the try line. Now the big number 8 slides into acting half. They look across to the left-hand side, get down the left edge. What a run from the corner. And just pushed into touch on the far side. That's Christian Ulakita. But hats off there.
Hats off to the crew as well. Papa, we were a two-camera shoot here, and we managed to get a bit of the touchy with his flag up. So well done to camera 1 and camera 2.
Oh, there, guys. Just bringing it all together for you so you can stay in touch with local footy.
Don't worry, we'll have the steady cam, the spider cam, and the drone next week.
Time check for you. At the moment, it's 2:52. The game been going 22 minutes now. Still no score. That's indicative of how tight it is for both these teams. I'm impressed with the work of Patello for Richmond, the number 9. He's been very busy in there. The Glazier by trade, so they do some really good work. And here's another great opportunity here for the Saints. They'll set the scrum 20 metres out from the try line. Knock on from the Bulldogs. Nice shout. The crowd have gathered here to support the local lads. There's the proud jersey. Green and gold V. It's decidedly Australian at times though, doesn't it, son?
Kangaroo strip there.
So Denzel Lepua is in the propping position, closest to the camera. Seal. Nice work out here for Luafali Alo. Solid. 18 metres from the try line. I'll call up. Looking for a runner. This is solid D as well from Fualalo. The back rower for the Dogs. Seal. Yeremia. Nice play here from the Saints. It's out to Hukatai. Ngataua. 8 metres from the try line. Yeremia. Another straightening effort here from Wheelie. Good chance here for the Saints. Can they capitalise on good field position? Seals the first receiver. Holds up the pass. The youngest of the three Seal brothers, all St Paul's guys, all of them went through St Paul's playing hooker. Of course, Michael's playing across in England now. Chris, I think this week plays his 50th game for the NYC Warriors team as well, Chris Seal. Congratulations to both of them. Like all league fans too, hoping that the Warriors do well and break the hoodoo in Perth later tonight. 7:30 kickoff New Zealand time, 2:30 I think it is in Perth. But, they've never won up against a Manly team later this evening, running pretty hot. Speaking of running hot as well, Richmond with it.
You know which game we'll be watching, Dad? The All Blacks are on at the same time as well, so I don't know who's scheduling these games. We're here streaming the Fox Round 12 Auckland Rugby League website. Pleasure to have you joining with us as we have 6th and 8th position going head to head. Bit of a blunder there by our winner of the Marist team, Sangele Palamo.
Proud area not far from the new Waterview Tunnel as well, Murray Halberg Park. Hayden Price, who's been a good contributor to the refereeing ranks here in Auckland City. And of course, as his back suggests too, with that message, be a ref. ARL refs. Have a look for them on Facebook or on your net if you'd like to get involved in the refereeing work, very important. Auckland Rugby League bringing you this live stream of today's action, rounds 12 of the Fox Memorial Championship from Murray Halberg Park. And now it's the Richmond Bulldogs who have the football now on Onalangi Pongi again. Played strong so far today. Darius Mafoy. He's held up again. Briggs, big number 22 from Marist, is Low Pepe. Down the short side come Richmond. Again, Briggs continues to impress. Maybe he's been a little bit too strong on it. Referee Price says we'll back it up. There's a penalty. He's allowed plenty of flow too, Price, today. But he's the best chance for some time for the visiting squad. So Patello with a quick tap. The carry is on for August Osua. A big unit to his feet now. Patello looks to the left and does use the runner at Richmond. Slide of build, big of heart. Can't get across the line as the Saints come across. Osua looks to have snuck across the line for a Richmond try as Price checks with his touch judges. That's the case. Richmond are in. It's 4-0. And a great effort from the man who's not been on for very long, August Osua.
Yeah, well done there. It come off, obviously, the penalty given away by Briggs for the facial on the other bloke's mush. However, Leonard Patello, the 21-year-old, in a hooker, played the little drop-off to his big front row who's just come on the paddock. And a metre out, how can he stop a guy in that sort of physique and shape?
So Yasua, there he is. Grey linen on the jersey. The proud Richmond Rovers, we call them the Bulldogs, whether the Roving Bulldogs or the Bulldog Roving. I think they can handle both names. To say the Marist Saints is as good a name as you can get for a league team, surely. But there is your try scorer. August Yosua. Looking for the extras off the boot here. Jakim Tumu Makara. Up go the flags. He's just an 18-year-old Jakim. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Jakim. Tumu Makara. He's studying a Bachelor of Sport Health Education as well. Some talented kids in this Richmond squad. And that's 6-0 now. 27 minutes of the game gone. Live streaming. Round 12. Auckland Rugby League Fox. There's the Sneeden. The Saints slow to get to the centre for the restart. Anthony Wheely will have that responsibility. Some good little players coming through Marist once again. Pino, Seal, Hukatai. That's a try scorer, Yosua. Another good carry from him and finds himself midway 20 at 30, Richmond's end of the ground. The back rower, Timo Loa, sends it up on the inside with the big number 10, Mafoi. Show, changing the angle too. Trying to be a little creative out wide too. This is Mikey Williams with the football. Mikey's actually only 17 last year at St Paul's. He played in the under 18, sorry, the under 15, I think it is, maybe Ruben Wiki team for Akarana. Mikey Williams, keep an eye out for him down the right-hand side at the back. It is Lua Falealo once again, the 24-year-old.
Yeah, the most important thing after a try is to complete the set and get to the kick. So Steve Buckingham will be wrapped with the efforts shown by his Richmond Bulldogs. I've been impressed also with the reserves that have come on and put their hand up and really made an impact as they come onto the field.
Lua Falealo is a 24-year-old. He's in the New Zealand Police. And of course, that's his brother, his younger brother, his older brother, Tino Lua Falealo, as well with the football. So it will be Marist who'll kick towards touch. It was the western touchline. But I don't think he's making too many mates here. We'll hold up for a minute while we get hold of that football again. And the young bloke has to go and climb the fence to the house of the Alsatian.
Practices footwork and his fend.
On the halfway line now, just across it, the Saints, a little bit of a knock on. Referee Price says that the ball's been stripped. So the Saints with a good opportunity to come back on the try scored just a few moments ago. 6 or 7 metres into the Richmond Bulldogs territory now. And Seal.
The Waterboy comes from pretty good breeding grounds too, Dad. Jason Williams still running around with the boys here at Marist Saints. We see Big Four come onto the footy now. He'll be having a hit up very shortly. There he is.
This is for Lau Pepe. He's a big unit and we'll get some go forward for them too. Wheelie now. He's wrapped up in a tackle of Patello right in front of the posts. Great chance here for the home team. Getting across is Okola. He's wrapped up, good D again for Patello. He's a tackling dynamo at the moment to Seal out the back beautifully. And the ball has gone down with Alamutifino.
Had a little look-see, but a white line fever there. When you see the line in the opening hole, you almost forget to hold on to the footy.
It can happen, but that was a great chance for the Saints. So they'll just have to work really hard and try and keep the Richmond Bulldogs at bay. And at this end of the ground, 6-0, just the one try scored in the 27th minute with Yosua. Just gone half hour played as well. You're watching the action live streamed here on Auckland Rugby League's website. Dummy half and halfback work here. Some good supporters in here, the under-15s. Really strong supporters of the local club. Very proud club, the Marist Saints. Gee, they've pulled out some great players over the years as well. They're responsible for nurturing some super talent. It has really provided the fuel for a lot of Kiwi League efforts across the years. On the 30-metre line now, the Bulldogs across to Akoi Atmore. Settled play, Patello. Kongi. Oh, he's been terrific. He's back to Patello now. Little step on the inside. That ball's gone to ground. Picked up late. Yosua.
I think he might have been shaping for the 40-20, he did.
Says he's not just a pretty face, or maybe some would say not even, but he's out there and he's scored a try, so he can get away with a kick as well. And a few strings to the bow for the big man.
Might have a go at the field goal towards the end of the back half of the game too. He's been doing everything.
Up slowly to Fis Palamo. Well, the Saints are holding their own, just the one try in it, Lepua. A big replacement, and 17 is on, and 15, that's Jaden Tamaliatane. Akoi Atmore there. Played strongly last year. Enjoyed watching him. Particularly a game when I saw him running the mud out of Papakura, where he was nothing short of sensational, just into everything. Only a young guy as well, Kennedy Akoi Atmore. Like to say good day to our mate Benny. He's got his eyes locked into the game down there in Dunedin. One thing about the internet and cyberspace is you can watch it in real time anywhere in the world. So big ups to our viewers all across Aotearoa and indeed globally. Auckland Rugby League's website and indeed those watching today. Roti Porti Dunedin. So now Marist. Seo. Leaving Fino behind. Onto Palamo. One out, goose step. Like the Buffalo Boys goes round the outside. To ground 25 metres in centre field. Sunia, Akwala, down the left-hand side. Here he comes, it's Lau Pepe. What a run from Lau Pepe. Towards the line he goes, couldn't quite get there. The Dogs shut him down 5 out from the try line, but I tell you what, he certainly made them sit up and take notice. Here they come, it's Seal with the ball. The Saints out the back, lovely ball to the fullback. And now onto Fino. He leaves it on and beautifully played in the end by the winger, Palamo. Well, it's a bit of a lolly scramble there at the moment. Couldn't see. He come up with the footy. What do you reckon there, Lewis?
Oh, I was grateful that Hayden let the play continue, but I think Richmond had a little knock on there towards the end of it, but who knows whether it's flip a coin. What arm has he got out there? Marist ball.
Well, Marist in great field position then. If that's the case, we've got to play it down. Some running repairs. Auckland Rugby League website. We haven't got too long till half time by our reckoning, just 4 or 5 minutes. But obviously some time for stoppages as well. It gives us a chance to look at some of the better players who have been on show here this afternoon. As we mentioned in the build-up, we've got some young talent who are just making their way in the game and coupled up with some older heads who have impressed you today.
Yeah, well, we always give credit and we praise the spines of teams, don't we? The hookers, the pivots, the fullbacks. But for me, I've been impressed with the benches of both teams. August Iosua, who come on and scored the opening try for the Richmond Bulldogs. Kisione Whakafuna.
He's been good too. Palamo's played strong so far today. And Samuel Briggs has also put in some good heavy work as well. So now it's the Saints who'll set it 10 out from the try line. You've got to fancy their chances. This is Whakafuna. Across field he goes. He's wrapped up in the tangle of Pongi. He's been outstanding so far today. Out he goes to Akola. Wide and the other Mia. Still with the ball. Simon. The Komatua of the Marist squad. Trying to burrow underneath the defenders. Held up, I suspect, will be the call from referee Price. And therefore backing it up. Marist Saints. Bit of wind, as you can see by the flag on the far side, in behind Richmond, the northeaster in Auckland. Today is big. Lau Pepe comes towards the line. Tolia for Lau Pepe. Gets the ball stripped. In fact, he's lost the football, says the referee. The biggest man on the field gets up Hoha. And I tell you that it won't be the Saints who'll get the try. In fact, it's a doggy's feed here on the 10-metre line. Chance goes big in there close to half-time, Lewin.
That's right, Tolia for Lau Pepe, previous years at the Toyota Cup under Warriors 20 squad. He's brought another spring of life into the Marist team when he's been on the field, but has that tendency to give away a penalty or an error in crucial times of the game.
So here's a little run from the Bulldogs. Centre field 30. And now the Saints will be wanting to make the tackle as Timoloa, the back rower, plays it. Working is Elliot Smith. Smith's in his first year of rugby league. He's actually studying medicine, majoring in surgery, Elliot Smith. He's a talented character. He's in jersey number 14 as the ball is sent downfield, rolls end over end. Awkward bounce too, into the end goal. Hello. He's going to go to Papakura to retrieve the footy. It's not that far. The wind behind the Bulldogs, pretty stiff here today. But really, you'd have to think that they've just got the one try out, but the wind might be worth more than that, I'm thinking, in the second half, Lewin. Your thoughts?
Yes, I mean, the fact that the heavens have opened up for the Saints and the rain's bucketing down, it's going to be that more important to complete your sets and hold on to the football. It becomes more of a forward, one-out sort of style of play rather than all these back doors that we've been seeing from the Marist Saints going from one side of the other field to the other. The fact that it's wet, as we see, Simon Niedemir just one out, making yards and getting to the kick.
It's hardly a deluge at the moment. In fact, it'll be pretty big to call it spitting, but it's inconveniencing the players, yes. Saints get another penalty. Just the one try, I remind you, back on the 27th minute. And that was from close range to a dropped pass. Oh no, the ball has gone into the house of the Great Dane now. It's incredible. So we'll have to get some sort of award, I think, for the ball boy. He keeps climbing the fence. He's coming back with his calf muscle shredded. Back it comes to the Saints in areas again, low Pepe. He'll be keen to hold on to the football. He's wrapped up 12 from the line. Here's an opportunity for the Saints close to half time. Seal peels across, Fino on the inside. Good run from Alamuti. He comes across the top and then towards the line. Oh, beautiful try. Wonderful effort here from the Saints. And Alamuti Fino scores right next to the post.
Yeah, he deserves that try, Alamuti Fino. He made a couple of blunders earlier on in the game, but he also looks dangerous whenever he has the football in his hands. So his boys are wrapped that he's crossed over for the home team. We might go into half-time locked up. What would that have been paying at the Ted?
Well, of course, we're not here to promote gambling or any untoward behaviour, but we are here to celebrate rugby league, and I guess we would have come and eaten Stephen 6 playing 8 anyway at the tab if it was on the tab. But that was a good run. It's been a little bit disjointed, that relationship between Lewis Seal and Alamuti Fino. A couple of times when it looked threatening, the ball to go on the ground, but this time it worked to a T and he cut back on the angle nicely. Still had a bit of work to do as well, Fino, but he came across Elliott Smith and he did the old Jonah sidestep, went straight across the top of him and just scored beside the post. So yeah, looking pretty good.
For the most part of the game, he tended to be running the overs line off the backdoor play, tip on from the fullback, Simon Luafalealo, but this time, as you said, they cut back in and then he looked a lot more dangerous coming back on the angle.
In the 38th minute, the Saints get one back. We're into a ding-dong second half. That's duly converted as well. We'll have a little bit more time, obviously, but very evenly matched, these two teams, as is indicated on the table. 6th place, playing 8. I guess from Steve Buckingham's perspective, really the goal initially anyway, Lewin, is to stay in the Fox. You don't want to be around that vulnerable area at the foot of the table.
Well, Richmond is a prime example of a team that's doing that. We're used to we see in Te Atatu, they've just come up from the Shaman, and I hate to say it, but it looks like they might be going back down. But that'll be good for Otahu if that's the case. I've been following the Shaman Cup and my team's in the 2nd division for the first time in history. Over 100 years old, proud club, but we're in the Shaman. However, we're representing these two teams this afternoon, Marist Saints and the Richmond Bulldogs. The boys are going nuts out the back because one of the bros laid a big hit. But I don't think you'll be able to hit this 7 foot, 120 kg, 24 Lau Pepe.
You know, that's really encouraging. I look out the window at the back and see this young team who are watching their premier side. And that's the way club footy used to be, and it needs to be again. Sadly, we're witnessing a massive drop-off in participation in teenage years, but the under-15s from this club are here today in numbers supporting their squad. Certainly wish them well too.
Oh, remember when we were profiling them for Māori television, this club was always warm. We had Muscle Child.
Here's a run, hold up Lou, this is Tangi Toe. Oh, what a try-saving effort it was from Violetti, who makes the tackle. Still running hot for the Saints though. Fino has the ball. Fino, 1, 2, 3, he's lost the ball. Oh, I thought Alamuti was in for a try number 2, but he has lost the football at the last moment. And there's the hooter in the background. I guess the referee will call a wrap to that first half. A very entertaining first half of rugby league here as we live streaming the action from Murray Halberg Park. At the break, it's 6 apiece. And the Richmond Bulldogs, the Marist Saints are locked up. We're in for a very intriguing battle here in the second half. But Lewin, when we reflect back on that first half and some of the solid efforts that have been put in there, Lewis Seal and Fina are just starting to find their feet late in the game. Earlier on, be fair to say that they made a couple of mistakes, but right now we can see that they're starting to get the rhythm that they will need if they're able to come out with the 2 points here this afternoon. On the other hand, as we look at the Richmond Bulldogs making their way into the huddle, Steve Buckingham will be very mindful of the efforts that have been put together, particularly for me, by Leonard Patello, who's been a very steadying influence to number 9, and his distribution today has been very tight. Look back no further as well to Isaac Akoi-Atmore, and my standout in the back line has been Ololangi Pongi, who continues to make good decisions both on defence and on attack. Who stood out for you so far?
That's right. Hey, I mean, the Richmond Bulldogs dominated the bulk of that first half. They had the most possession of the ball down the right edge of the footy field. However, the Marist Saints seem to have come right as Brendan Douglas continues to praise his troops and expressing his thoughts and opinions on some of the things that might not have been going quite well, like those backdoor plays, like sliding from one side of the field to the other. I reckon for the Marist Saints to win this game, they're going to win it up the middle.
As you can see, just in that shot, you can see a little bit of drizzle that's coming down. The two teams only 10 to 20 metres away from each other. A very overcast day here at Murray Halberg Park, but both teams are locked up here. It's really hard to determine who is going to come away with the win and the all-important 2 points. Hope you're enjoying the action here, live streamed on Auckland Rugby League website. Great to have your company, Dale and Lewin, husband, with you this afternoon with commentary. We'll take a brief break and be back with you live at Murray Halberg Park in just a moment.